People. Que pasa, suck, passe, what they do. Welcome to Crime Time News, where the difference is in the meds. Call it news with a buzz. Now we see that our Prime Minister, your Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, it seems as if this man have amnesia. It seems as if he has selective memory or he is in deep denial. Because I saw that he made some statement the other day, and in those statements, he is pretty much saying that, listen, there's been all sorts of rumors and propaganda, especially on social media. I think that he was throwing some sorts of darts at the bloggers, because bloggers were saying, listen, be very careful with your money. Everything is not what it seems. These people, white-collar criminals, they are taking advantage of you. However, I am going to get to that further on in this news. So Andrew Holness made a statement and he's telling people, listen, do your due diligence. Don't listen to the opinions of persons that have no sorts of financial backgrounds. Persons that have motive, ulterior motive, they are trying to derail the system. Make sure you know the source that you are listening to. Don't make any decision or form any sorts of opinion from just listening to them. These persons are unscrupulous. The information out there is false.
Which tells me that we really have a problem, not just with financial literacy, but with information literacy. Because we read and believe everything, where the fundamentals of information literacy requires that you check sources, that you verify against sources that are credible before you allow it to form your opinion. Financial markets depend on information. And if the actors in the financial market are consuming false information, they will make wrong decisions. So I urge our Jamaican people, particularly when it comes to financial markets, seek verified information before you use that to form your opinion.
Now, people, when you listen to what Andrew Holness says, and when we see what has transpired lately, who have something to hide? Who have motive to lie? Which one of those persons in SSL said something that is even half truth? One iota of believability in it. Was it Jean Ann Panton? Was she lying? Did she have a reason to deny? Was it Zachary Harding? Was his story credible? Was it Hugh Krosky? Was it Mark Krosky? Who did they send out as their representative that said something that made any sort of sense? So people, that is your present Prime Minister. I want you to take a listen, take a look to what a past Prime Minister, Mr. Golden, has to say, and then I'll give my piece.
Then, of course, what about the Financial Services Commission? They are the regulators who are supposed to watch over these companies to ensure that they are managing people's money properly so that people can be assured that their money is safe. It has now been revealed that they were aware from a long time that things were not going right. That things were not going right at Stocks and Securities. But what did they do? They allowed people to keep their money there, thinking that their money is safe. They allowed new people to put their money there, thinking that their money would be safe. What purpose did the Financial Services Commission serve? You know, I looked at its last annual report this morning. A report for 2018, 2019. It's amazing that that is the last report they have published. But you know what it costs each year to operate the Financial Services Commission? Their costs each year is about $1.5 billion Jamaican dollars. That's what it costs to operate the Financial Services Commission. Pay the salaries and pay the rent and so on. That money, of course, doesn't come from the taxpayer. That money comes from fees that they collect from all of these investment houses that they are supposed to license and regulate. We saw over the weekend from a news report where the executive director, well, the current one just resigned, but the executive director is paid a salary of over 18 million Jamaican dollars. What the devil were they doing for all that money? 1.5 billion, with a chief executive getting a salary of $18 million a year.
Now, people, talk about misinformation, talk about double talk about somebody that you cannot trust. Remember when Andrew Holness bought that mansion up in Beverly Hills? When he was asked where did he get his money, he got it from some sorts of shell company that he formed in St. Lucia, one of those tax haven. And then he also said that he got it from some sorts of investment at SSL. He was the one that said it then, and he was the one that is claiming that he no longer has any sorts of investment in SSL. Let's talk about FSC. What is their purpose? FSC has been under FIRE for the longest time. FSC is under FIRE because they are taking up, they are shielding, they are sheltering SSL. So therefore, you have the wolf that is watching the chicken cub. It is a clear conflict of interest because the FSC gets its budget from companies like SSL. They earn in excess of $1.5 billion. That is what it takes to run the whole thing on an annual basis. The chairman was getting in excess of $1.5 million a month. That is equivalent to 18 million Jamaican dollars per year. So Andrew Holness, your Prime Minister, is that misinformation or is that facts? Is it facts you built a mansion in Beverly Hills? Is it facts that you also bought expensive property in Beverly Hills? Is it facts that you have a very expensive condominium in Arcadia? At that time when you was doing those investments, your salary at the Ministry of Education was $60,000. Now, people, you heard your Prime Minister said, confirm that he closes account with SSL in 2021. We've also noticed a very disturbing trend. It is the same as it pertains to Zachary Harding. He left about 2021, 2022 or so. We noticed that him and Mr. Krosky, meaning Harding and Mr. Krosky, they formed a company outside of Jamaica, Delta Cap, Delta Financial. So don't you see something wrong? Don't you see that there is some sort of information being traded, that there is some sort of Spotallion inside of the SSL that told purses that, listen, this company is in a whole bunch of trouble. This company is in a financial bind. So therefore, do like the old dance say, take away yourself. People, when you see the Prime Minister close, when you see Harding close and invested somewhere else, people don't leave anything that is good for anything that is unsure. So therefore, people, this is a crime by itself. It is called investors trading. That means people with the know inside are tipping off people when to deposit and, most importantly, when to withdraw or when to close before the whole thing comes crashing down. People, what is even more disturbing, look at these government entities that the relevant authority invested in SSL. The National Health Fund, 740 million. National Housing Trust, $238.8 million. National Insurance Fund, 8.4 million. Jamaican Agricultural Society, 8.9 million. Jamaica Banana Catastrophe Fund, $98,000. Now, based on what the finance minister is saying and the investigators are saying, it seems as if the thieves did not touch most of these funds. They confirmed 2 or 3, not everybody. But people, this is definitely a conflict of interest as it pertains to FSC, as it pertains to these persons moving out their money. It is called insider trading. It is illegal in most parts of the world, including Jamaica. And your Prime Minister and the heads of SSL should have known that. So we want to ask the money. Was that money transferred from your Prime Minister's account to ADMAT, in which he has in St. Lucia? Did he invest that money in his wife's company, real estate development company, that he's building some sorts of gas station, some sorts of KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken franchise? It is yet to be determined. Let's talk about assets that are in the making. Let's talk about a gas station that your wife is building. Let's talk about a KFC that your wife is building. Both of these businesses are in South Haven. Remember, there's been a whole bunch of persons living in St. Thomas that have money, that have applied for a license for that gas station, for a license more for that KFC. All of those persons were denied, application denied, because they were saving it for persons like you. Persons that are privileged, persons with money, persons in the loop, persons in the link. Let's talk about some villas that are being built. A place called Suncoast Villa. Only the top, only the rich, only the influential can get places like those. These are persons that are your friends that own these properties, including you. You and your friend, your affiliate, your associate, Darrell Vaz, along with the Israelis, the Arabs, they are the ones that are owning these property. And whenever we speak about a conflict of interest, remember the people in St. Thomas, they've been asking, they've been begging for proper roads, However, where you and your friends' villas are, the aisle that is like the next Beverly Hills, the next Narbrook, the next Cherry Garden, the road is being cut and it is done very, very quickly. So therefore, Mr. Andrew Holness, is that also misinformation or things have changed? The dawn of a new day where the regular media that are paid, that are bought off, that because of political affiliation or fear for talk the truth, they won't be issued any sorts of license by the Broadcast Commission. It is bloggers like myself that are exposing the corruption that exists in Jamaica, and you are one of the main participants, point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like this, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Bless up.